part two of the Los Angeles Sparks taking the WNBA in a new direction. Locked On Women's Basketball starts now.
You are Locked On Women's Basketball, your daily podcast on women's basketball. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Locked On Women's Basketball. I'm your host, Howard Megdal, and I want to thank you for making us your first listen every single day. 340,000 of you showed up in April alone, the way we show up for you 6 days a week. And of course, it is not just me, it is the incredible team across the board at thenexthoops.com. The Next, where we cover over 100 reported pieces every single month. Make sure you subscribe. $9 a month, $72 a year. It all gets delivered right to your inbox. That money goes to support the work being done, to the reporters, to the photographers, to the editors who make that everyday coverage a reality. Thenexthoops.com. We're going to pick up where we left off with the Los Angeles Sparks, and just a really interesting media day, a really interesting opportunity to talk about the way in which the personalities mesh, the way in which the game on the floor meshes. There are a lot of coaches on the floor when it comes to the LA Sparks. And Julie Allemand, who we're going to start with today, is one such player. But I did ask her about coaching, and that was a fun answer that we got from her. So let's listen in more from Los Angeles Sparks Media Day. I'm Howard Megdal, and you're listening to Locked On Women's Basketball. Howard Megdal here, Locked On Women's Basketball. And the privilege of getting to cover Julie Allemand is not one that we take for granted here in the WNBA. She's been here. We've had the chance to see her game. She's now back with the LA Sparks. And Julie, thank you for taking the time to chat with us. Let's just start where you're at physically at this point, just, what you're feeling and what the roadmap is.
So I'm actually feeling good. Of course, I'm still not back on the court with the team, but I had my surgery, I think almost 3 or 4 weeks ago. And my knee is doing well. I'm really doing well, and I hope to be as soon as possible on the court, of course, but the team also wants me to take my time and to know that they don't want to rush anything. It's really important. So it's good. I'm really happy to be here to do my rehab, to be with the team already, because it's not easy to start a new season and to be injured, especially when it's new staff, new players. So I was happy to at least be there and to try to get to know my teammates and my staff.
It's got to be so frustrating for you. I know the ankle injury that cost you 2024. What do you do as somebody who's a lifelong basketball junkie to kind of fill that time? And are you watching more? Are you what are you doing to kind of fill that void as you recover?
So for the moment, I really trying to pay attention to everything. It's really not easy, especially mentally, because you have to try and do your best for your knee, but at the same time, I'm trying to get to know my teammates, like I was saying, and that means paying attention the whole time to practice, getting to know them, to know what we're gonna do. So yeah, it's a lot of watching stuff, watching the games, watching the practice, watching everything, trying to, even if I'm not on the court, feeling like I'm on the court, and that's really not easy to do, especially at the beginning. I really tried to do both, but I realized that it wasn't possible. So I was really focused on my knee, and at the same time, I was asking the papers, to know the plays, to know everything, especially as a point guard. It's so important, So I was trying to do both, but it's not easy. And now that I can almost be back with the team, and I can do some stuff, it's way easier. To be on the court, to have to feeling to be with them, it's much more easier. But otherwise, yeah, for sure, it's watching. At least that's also a good thing, I think, to, in the negative part, you also have to find some positive stuff, and I think being able to be on the side and watch them play, that's also good.
You've always been this coach on the floor. Do you feel did this change or enhance your feeling that you might want to coach after your playing days are over?
I don't really understand the question.
Would you want to be a coach? And
No.
No, you're not.
No,
Coach on the floor is more than
that's too difficult.
enough. I
We're
understand.
always
Well,
mad. We're always complaining. So no, no, I'm sorry. That's
understood.
not for me.
Well, so the coach that you do have in Lynne Roberts, it's almost like she's the platonic ideal for the type of game you bring to the floor. And, obviously everything you've done overseas is significant. And the stats are, let us say, more limited in the W so far. That said, in your time in the W, 88% of your shots are either in the paint or beyond the arc. I mean, very much in line with what coach is preaching. Do you feel like there's a real on the court basketball home for you here, in part because of the system that Lynn and her folks are bringing to town?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, I want to be on the court and be able to feel it, because for the moment I'm just watching, but I really think that yeah, I can fit in those plays that she wants us to run, and like it's like I feel like sometimes, oh, it can be the national team, like for me, it can be like the Belgium national team because we love to cut, we love to share the ball, we love to just play for the others, and I feel like this is what she wants. And like you said, all going to the basket or like having 3 points, like I really think that I'm gonna enjoy, but it's always difficult at the beginning because like we have to trust the process. We have to know that it will take time to build something. Like it will not come like this. And that's what she's trying to tell us. And we have to understand that too. Like of course we were mad after the first game, second game, because we were not good in offense, we were trying to
Hmm.
find stuff, but it's just not easy, but it's normal because it's still the beginning. And that's something different than what we are used to. But I think that for me, it will not be that difficult. But I cannot tell for the moment because I'm not on the court.
Soon enough, and we're all looking forward to seeing what that looks like, especially again, 5 different seasons for folks who are here in the United States who don't know. 5 different seasons overseas. You've had 3-point percentage north of 40% before we even get into your distinguished career playing for Belgium. When you think about your goals for this year, do you have things like that in mind, and how would you sort of identify what success is for you back on the court?
Actually, this season, I want to win games, that's for sure. I
Yeah.
want us to make it to the playoffs. And personally, I want to be more vocal because I feel like I'm really someone who is leading by example. And I
Hmm.
think it's time for me, especially as a point guard, to be more vocal and to talk because I think that I've got all this experience overseas. I mean, overseas for you, but for me, it's more like home. But
Right.
and I feel like I need to because I'm sure that I can help my teammates way more than what I think, and that's why, especially in this group, because we have a lot of young players, and so I think that I will have a big role in this. But again, it's not easy when you start on the side, and especially like I'm sure not everybody knows about me in this team, because I'm still like from Europe, and it's gonna be only my third season in W. So but I think when I will be on the court, it will be way easier because it's gonna be like it's how I'm gonna be. I'm gonna show it by example, like I
Right.
said, and then I will feel more comfortable to start talking.
And I don't understand what defenses are going to do with you and Kelsey Plum beyond the arc, trying to make those decisions along with Dearica inside. Last one before we go, just to bring in Mike Thibault as the head coach of the Belgium national team. Take me through what you think that means for the program. Obviously, what you guys have been doing internationally has just gotten better and better, and there's a healthy Belgian entourage in the WNBA year in and year out. But just kind of take me through what you're seeing there so far from Mike and from the program right now.
I mean, I'm so glad that he joined us. Like he started to coach us in February for some
Yeah.
games, and it was just like a week, so it wasn't really easy because it was a lot going on, and it's like it was funny because it was in Belgium and I felt like I was in W because it's the same style.
Yeah.
And so I was so happy about that. And I think he can like really help us to like have those little details that we were missing
Hmm.
before and that we can have to like make a step and maybe win medals. Like that's why maybe winning gold. I know in Eurobasket we won gold like 2 years ago, and we're gonna try to get a gold medal again. And I think he's gonna be the coach who can help us to like be more maybe be better like in tactic or stuff like that. I think he's gonna bring all of his experience and it's gonna help us a lot, especially the young players that we have in your team. And it's just great because I feel like we're still trusting the process, and it's like he's coming at the right time. Like we were like the underdog before, like nobody knew us, and then we kept growing up with different coaches. Like we had two coaches, and every time, like, yeah, we were getting better and better, and I feel like it's just the right time for him to come with us.
I am old enough to remember seeing him and Emma Meesman celebrate a title, so would not be surprised to see that happen again very soon.
Hopefully.
Julie Allemand, appreciate your time. Welcome back here, our stateside, your overseas. Appreciate it. We're all looking forward to seeing 2025 for you.
Thank you so much.
Locked on Women's Basketball is brought to you by Wayfair. The days are getting longer, the weather's warming up, and people are spending more time outside, which means it's the perfect time to refresh your outdoor space. Whether you're working with a big backyard or a small balcony, Wayfair has everything you need to make it feel more like you. Wayfair's massive selection of outdoor essentials makes it easy to transform any space into your ideal summer setup. From comfy conversation sets to sleek dining tables and outdoor decor, they've got it all and at prices that fit your budget. And they do. Take it from me. I'm in the midst of figuring out there's an angle where I can sit in my backyard and see the television. I need to have this set up ready for WNBA season. Shop a huge selection of outdoor furniture online this summer. Get outside with Wayfair. Head to wayfair.com right now. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. Locked on Women's Basketball is brought to you by Car Gurus. Shopping for a car should be exciting, not exhausting. But between the confusing prices and hidden fees, it can feel overwhelming. That's why I love using Car Gurus. They help you cut through the noise and show you the best deals with full confidence. With over 4 million listings, Car Gurus has more new and used cars than any other major online marketplace in the United States. They verify dealers, provide real price analysis, and give you the tools and data you need to make the right choice without second guessing yourself. I can tell you, cars are not an area I know very much about, but here's what I do know. Competition matters. And if instead of you going to a single dealership, you have all the dealers competing for you, that gives you an opportunity to take advantage of everything from going back and forth between options to even price drop alerts, so you know exactly when the perfect car is available on your budget. It's no wonder SimilarWeb estimated traffic data shows Car Gurus is the #1 most visited car shopping site. Buy or sell your next car today with Car Gurus at cargurus.com. Go to cargurus.com to make sure your big deal is a best deal. That's cargurus.com. cargurus.com. Howard Megdal here, back locked on women's basketball. Sarah, Ashlee, I just have to start by talking about the 45. And I know you're probably sick of hearing about it, but even folks at Maryland who have reason to not be happy about it say it's maybe the best performance that they've ever seen at the Xfinity Center. Can you just kind of take me through what it felt like that? I can't conceive of doing anything that well, let alone on a stage like that.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a lot of fun, for sure. I think in the moment of the game, I didn't realize that I was having that good of a game, I guess, just because it was like I was just so into the game and I was just so focused about winning that I didn't even know how many points I had at all. And so after the game, what my assistant coach, he just came up to me and he was like, "I don't think you understand what you just did." And I just kind of looked at him and was like, "What do you mean?" And he was like, "You just like dropped 45 points. Like that's like one that was the highest for Alabama basketball to do. Like, you broke that record. And I just looked at him and I was like, really? And he was like, yeah. And so I think for that though, the 45, like, it wasn't about me in that moment. I kind of just took it as like, I had so many great players and great who had confidence to put on my hands, and that's where the 45 comes from. Because if I didn't have Aaliyah Nye on my team, who in my opinion was the best shooter in the country, like, I wouldn't be able to get downhill on one-on-one drives. I wouldn't be able to get open shots like I was, because of how great of a shooter she is. She attracts so much, and so I was just so grateful that in that moment of like, yeah, the 45 was definitely to Sarah Ashlee Barker, but the 45 was a whole team effort type of thing, and I'm a firm believer in that, and I'm a firm believer in that 45 wouldn't have been done if it wasn't for my teammates and even my coaches putting me in the right position to do that. But I think it's one of those things where, when you're feeling it, you're feeling it. And that's what it was for me. And I just was kept attacking the rim and kept trying to get any open shot that I got. And then obviously just, God put the super on my natural. So,
Yeah, no, I mean, no doubt about it. And, that performance opened a lot of eyes, I think, nationally. But
yeah,
for those who don't know, I mean, you've been on the radar of WNBA teams for quite some time.
right.
And so, listeners, you were 9th overall, but Sarah Ashlee Barker has been on the wish list of teams for a very long time, specifically when you look at what the LA Sparks fit is. If you'll permit me to get a little nerdy for a second, you took 20 shots all year, only 20 shots from outside the paint, but inside the 3-point range. And, when you think about what Lynne Roberts and her staff emphasizes, that just seems like such a great fit. And I say all that to ask you, was that clear to you in sort of that immediate moment when you hear your name called? Wow, this isn't just the moment that my professional dreams are coming true, but I have a chance to go somewhere where my game really works.
No, absolutely. I mean, I knew that, when I had conversations with the Sparks before the draft, obviously you talk about the offense, you talk about how you can fit in, you talk about all that. And, it's funny now that, like, obviously plays and stuff like that, like, there's literally probably a lot of plays that we have here that is the exact same play. It's just called differently. And
Right.
so for me, the style of play offensively was pretty much pretty, it was a pretty easy flow in. And that's what I was very grateful about was, wow, like, I'm going into a system that pretty much was the exact same system that I was in at Alabama. Like, yeah, there's some kinks here and there that are different, and terminology that's different, but the movement and the spacing and getting the three off and getting inside out, playing fast, and making sure that we're making the right decision every single read. That was all the same concepts that we had at Alabama. And so they knew that, I knew that. And then obviously, like, when it is a new coaching staff, like, everyone's learning the plays at the same exact time. Everyone's learning everything the first time. So it's not like you're coming into a team where there was all these plays that had already been set. Like, everyone saw it and heard it for the first time, just like me as a rookie. And so I think that was a really good fit for me, honestly.
And I'm guilty of it as anyone. So I asked you about the 45 first, but for many people, there's an understanding that your defense is at or even possibly ahead of your offense. I mean, to have a steal percentage north of 3 each of the last 3 years in
Yep.
college speaks to that. Take me through what the defensive transition has been like so far. And obviously there's an offensive fit, but what has that been like for you at the other end of the floor, which I know you take pride in?
Yeah, no, I for sure take pride in defense. That's how you win championships. That's how you win basketball games. You got to be able to defend, and then that can translate to offense, obviously. But I think for me, I think it's one of those things where, it is an adjustment, because the speed of the game is way faster at the pro level. Like, you are not able to, you've got to be able to recover and get back quicker than you could maybe at the college level. Like, everybody can score, everybody can do, like, it's a professional league for a reason. They're in the pros for a reason, and everybody is a good player when you're guarding them. And so I think for me, it's just, hey, like, how can I watch other people? How can I learn from the vets? How can I take little details and things that help me? Because, yeah, even though I had a good defensive, stats and defensive role, like, on Alabama and in college, that doesn't mean that when I get here, it's just going to be easy. And so I knew that there was going to be so much that I could learn, and there still is so much that I can learn defensively. But as long as I just give it my 100% effort and I try my hardest every single day, I think that that the defensive aspect will always be there. Just because, in my opinion, defense is effort. Yeah, it's terminology at some point, but you've got to be able to really be a dog and be someone who's going to go and defend and try your hardest. And that's just what I'm doing every single day.
The transition to the pros for so many players is a challenge because you are the clear number one option, taking every shot available to you every step of the way. A little different for you in Alabama. If you'll permit me just briefly, nobody had a usage rate of 30% at Alabama last year, and your assist percentage was over 24%. I mean, even though you were not typically the one bringing the ball up the court, how much do you think that helps you make a transition, that you are able to be one in a galaxy of stars, and you've proven it at the collegiate level?
Yeah, I think it's just going in every single day and working hard and understanding that the game of basketball, like, it's not just about scoring. You can impact the game in so many different ways, so many different aspects. And so for me, it's like, if I'm not getting, the number of shots that I got in college, okay, that's fine. I can completely go try and get somebody else a shot, or I can try and go get extra rebounds. I can try to defend whoever I'm defending the best I can, get steals, do this, do that, do the little things, because we have so many great players on our team with KP, Dearica, Z. You just list everybody on our team brings every single thing to the table. And so I think for me, it's just, hey, find a way you can fit in. When your shot is open and you're open, take the shot. Like, that's why they brought you here. But understand that you have so many other great players around you that, like, you can do those little things and be great at those little things as well.
What is a benchmark you're setting for yourself when you think about what success looks like in year one?
Yeah, I think honestly, it's just the success is learning from other people. I think that when I was in college, there was a lot of times where I had to lead every single day, and every single, you had to come in and you were the top dog, you were the leader. And for me, for this year, it's, how can I learn from all the vets that are here? How can I take in what their knowledge and see what they're seeing, because they've been here and their experience? And so that's just the benchmark for me, is like, take this as a learning opportunity, but also, like, don't be afraid to, when your number is called, you got to go in there and do what you're supposed to do. You've got to go in there and be who you are and why they brought you here. You can't change you. Like, they brought you here for a reason. They brought you here because of the things that you did. And so I know going into this year, like, be me, and everything else will kind of fall into place.
Maryland is glad you're in the pros now. So are the LA Sparks. Sarah,
Yes.
Ashlee Barker, thank you so much. Locked on Women's Basketball is brought to you by Wayfair. The days are getting longer, the weather's warming up, and people are spending more time outside, which means it's the perfect time to refresh your outdoor space. Whether you're working with a big backyard or a small balcony, Wayfair has everything you need to make it feel more like you. Wayfair's massive selection of outdoor essentials makes it easy to transform any space into your ideal summer setup. From comfy conversation sets to sleek dining tables and outdoor decor, they've got it all, and at prices that fit your budget. And they do. Take it from me. I'm in the midst of figuring out there's an angle where I can sit in my backyard and see the television. I need to have this set up ready for WNBA season. Shop a huge selection of outdoor furniture online this summer. Get outside with Wayfair. Head to wayfair.com right now. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. Locked on Women's Basketball is brought to you by Car Gurus. Shopping for a car should be exciting, not exhausting. But between the confusing prices and hidden fees, it can feel overwhelming. That's why I love using Car Gurus. They help you cut through the noise and show you the best deals with full confidence. With over 4 million listings, Car Gurus has more new and used cars than any other major online marketplace in the United States. They verify dealers, provide real price analysis, and give you the tools and data you need to make the right choice without second guessing yourself. I can tell you, cars are not an area I know very much about, but here's what I do know. Competition matters. And if instead of you going to a single dealership, you have all the dealers competing for you, that gives you an opportunity to take advantage of everything from going back and forth between options to even price drop alerts, so you know exactly when the perfect car is available on your budget. It's no wonder SimilarWeb estimated traffic data shows Car Gurus is the #1 most visited car shopping site. Buy or sell your next car today with Car Gurus at cargurus.com. Go to cargurus.com to make sure your big deal is a best deal. That's cargurus.com. cargurus.com. So just really interesting stuff across the board, I felt like. You know, and again, when you talk about a Rakia Jackson, I don't know that there were two rookies who had better rookie seasons than she did. She really impressed me and did it in challenging circumstances, as we talked about, you know, position changes in real time. The LA Sparks, I mean, a Haggadah would not properly and fully capture all the plagues they experienced last year. So just health alone is going to be fascinating to see with this team. But of course, a very different team put together. Cannot wait to see what she does. And Julie Allemand, we could have done a half hour just talking about Mike Thibault and the Belgium national team. But that is going to be a story I intend to follow. Mike Thibault, real fun, up-and-coming youngster in this game. Chance to do some special things, Mike. That's what I think. So that ends us for today. We'll be back with you tomorrow, as we are 6 days a week. Until then, I'm Howard Megdal, wishing you a wonderful day.
You are Locked On Women's Basketball, your daily podcast on women's basketball. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.